Hey, hello and welcome back once again to Gary Grigsby's War in the East. Once again back, and I think I already did quite a bit on this turn here, but let's go and take a look. We actually have 5 divisions which are available here. I kind of want to go and take a look at the different areas. So apparently I sent 11th SS to the wrong place, or they're kind of there now at 105. Makes sense, it's too much then. I would send something out, but the Rodos Sturm Brigade should kind of stay there. Not that this matters a whole lot anymore. Italy 167, I'll just leave those troops there. Italy is 132. I'll take out the Werfer to Western Europe, I suppose. And I can take out the 504th Heavy Panzer. I'll also send that to Western Europe, because I don't need them in Russia, or we've already won anyway. The garrison is fine, Finland is fine, Norway is fine, and then even here we're over 100% in terms of air, and ground is 101. So we're completely fine here. When it comes to the reserves, anything that's doing okay, I will just send it over to Western Europe. And these guys too. Just to prop it up. I mean, I know we have no ground combat, so in that sense, they won't take casualties or anything. But still. I have no Hungarians that can move. Nor would they need to, I think, probably. Alright. One thing that I want to take a look at, besides the Romanians, that also don't have any units that are coming in, is the weather. So we can currently see that the weather on the ground in those places is mud, and it's going to be pretty much the same. The weather in the air, there's going to be heavy rain over the northern part, and I kind of feel like with heavy rain I want to stop offensive operations, except maybe against Leningrad. But besides that, I really don't think I should be moving a whole lot further during the rain, especially since I think the Germans in that sense need to pretty much consolidate everything. And I'm gonna send these guys back too. Of course, Gorky is empty, so we can pretty easily take that. And this is actually part of this army. I'm gonna take out all of these units from this army and redirect them towards Moscow. So only 2nd Panzer will continue moving into that area. And we'll see how that goes. Kind of want to bundle everybody up together as well. And start making a bit of sense out of everything around here. Especially since I also have no rail, so although I could actually encircle those 3. Let's see what they have. Yeah, the other unit just cannot move, so I guess I can get the 10th SS Panzer Grenadiers into 2nd Panzer. Yeah, that seems to be fine somehow. If they have a Panzer Corps somewhere here. 47th. My units are pretty much all over the place. if they can get under it. Yeah, they can. Soviets actually have some form of a line up there. That's pretty interesting. I wouldn't have given it to them, but I guess they did. Alright. Next stop. We have 4th Army. I was very curious to see if they had something in the middle, which they did not. So I'm gonna pull an encirclement on this rifle corps. I have a sensation they will not be able to pull it off. Oh, they did. Okay. Oh, good. They're moving over to these guys then. Ah, there's still a chink in it. Wow. I missed that piece. Okay. I will have to deal with it somehow. At some point. These core are also a miserable mess. Two units on the depot. At any rate, I kind of need these units to that side and these units to move further up. So as cores, they can get together again. By this point, I actually kind of want to have the Hungarians move to Stalingrad. And clearing up this this area here. Although they will not be getting a whole lot of supplies in here. Okay, that's one core. And a second. And a third. Almost, at least. Where is the next one? Over here. Alright, so the Hungarians are kind of knit together now. You're at the far end of that core. I'm gonna place a depot here, even though I know it doesn't work yet. And then take a look at this. So the Romanians, you cannot get off of the train. You're refitting. This core can get off of the train. Then I have this Romanian armored. Probably have to send it around that way. Rather, as for 6th Army, I want them to stay in the Stalingrad area for a bit to reorganize and stuff like that once I've dealt with all the other things around here. Now with the rain, things are getting quite tricky. I have a sensation that most of this area is just rather empty, which seems to be true. I need to be able to get a system going here where I can just make sure they all remain encircled. But even this is already undoable. My units are dead beat and exhausted. And there's not really a whole lot of I can do to prep them up here. For the moment. I kind of feel that except in the areas where I can just move freely, my offensive is kind of over, given the weather. And besides that, it's mostly just a consolidation. Let's see, because I did want to have at least a unit on each on the Stalingrad hexes to make sure that nothing happens there. Because that would be a problem too. But besides that, I will for the moment just close in on these units too. I don't think I really necessarily want to move on Saratov yet. Like I know it gives points, but doesn't particularly help. What I will do though is I'm gonna send all 5 of these units, and apparently they cannot go very far. Only up to the Kiev region. I'd just rather divide them for a bit amongst the different fronts. Okay. Let's take a look at that Italian unit. I can now transfer it over to Italy. That's the last one. These things are building down near Chula, but that doesn't really help. I did get a few reinforcements over at Sonkovo, but to get them all the way to Yaroslavl, it's not gonna be easy. Anyway, I'm so far ahead from Moscow now, there's no way they can ever get back to it. I'll finish up my turn here, just taking a quick peek at the rail and rail units. I'm inclined to move Army Group Center into Vyazma, and Army Group North will move to Novgorod. A bit more of a fitting region. I would almost even say that Cherepovets is, or Vyshny Volochysk is better, but that would be overdoing it a little. The Army Group, oh, let's see, actually, oh, I have all these guys here. I didn't even realize these guys were recovering here. Even they. Let's keep them there, but let's get the 305th Infantry over there. They are at 46, so they really also still can benefit from getting more units. And then we have 13th Panzer, which is at 73 right now. But still, they need to be sent by train. Like I said, I'm just looking to consolidate in this area too. French volunteers, how bad are you? 32%. I think the weather stays pretty much. No, it changes on the Soviet turn. Kind of forgot, but since the Soviets have so little units, their logistics turns go really fast. Yeah, that's quite nice in a way. Oof, yeah. So, no offensive operations in the Moscow area either now anymore. I wonder if I'll get some good weather turns and stuff, because this might get weird. I'm just gonna go and set up for defense in most of the areas now for the next couple of days, and we'll see how that goes. I've been doing more and more turns per episode, so at least we're going through it a lot faster now, which is in a way also kind of nice. But like the fact that they still have supplies there is so weird to me. At least we formally linked up with the Finns there too. Whoa. I'm actually a bit shocked that they still put an offensive. Like, their numbers must be excessively low now, so... You wouldn't think that they'd actually do that. Okay, wow. It does cost them points, so things get harder for them if they do that. Like, these guys now can no longer escape, and that's the benefit, because they don't have the movement points. Right, they lost a lot of planes in trying to do that. Wow, they get all the way from there up to Zagorsk. I'm actually quite surprised that they can still dump supplies into that pocket from all the way there. But, okay, well. Good for them. This smaller pocket is completely deprived of any kind of supplies. But because of the heavy rain, there's no way that I can attack. Even though they are cut off, it really does prevent me from going after them. Which is a problem. It means I also will not be able to take Leningrad, at least for quite a while still, since I just didn't get there. For now, at least. I also wonder when we will lose Africa. We continuously have 130%, so you would think that, well, basically we need a success, and then they will, in one of the theater boxes, and then they will delay the events that are there, and as long as we don't get any ground, air, or sea success in any of the other theaters, it basically means that the events will run pretty much as they did before, or as they do historically, despite having a significant extra number of troops in certain locations. But I don't particularly know how that works for places like Italy. Like, I've 160% in Italy, and you would think that this might be enough to prevent any kind of invasion, but once the Allies take Tunis, the garrison requirement in Italy itself will increase as well. So I wonder if I'll still have enough by then. I do hope so. And otherwise I can always shift some forces there because, you know, we have an excess of troops in Russia anyway. Now, of course, our logistics take gazillion hours. But it's fine. Alright, first of all, let's go through that airface like it's nothing. Which is the case, anyhow. It's funny because night actually comes first. It's first night, then day. Not day first, then night. I guess technically they did start the war at like, I think it was like 3 or 4 a.m. So kind of makes sense to have night first. New events. Axis air success in Africa. So the campaign events are moved back, just like the Italian ones. Good. Yeah. Okay. Seems like these guys just surrendered by themselves. I'll take it with the Bergman Ost unit there. Weird that I... oh, I cannot move into those spaces, right. That's exactly right. I wonder why the AI builds depots in those locations, as they can't do anything there anyway. They have no troops with which to move. It's kind of weird. No rail in this area this time, unfortunately. Yeah, I'm 1x away from Tbilisi, even though we can clearly see that it's actually empty. Now, I do think that cavalry unit can actually go a pretty reasonable way here. I'm still just using all of these units, kind of because I guess they are designated to do this, and I don't want to say I feel an obligation to do it with these forces, but I guess in a way it just kind of makes sense to use those units for that that thing there. Right, I have no... Oh, okay. I wanted to say I have no faith in this attack, but I guess they did it. Huh. Well, let's get to the rail. I kind of want to get these guys moving up, to help the Romanians out, because I feel like it makes more sense to try and do that. I'd rather go in there to launch an attack later from that side of the river. Let's see, because they're ready, they're unready. Oh, they are actually on the core. Yeah, I see it now. Okay. Let's get them moving. What are you part of? The one up there. I guess I'll be moving there then. Let's see. Let's put you in the 4th Romanian Corps. It still has these, but I'm not sure whether they're already ready. They are. Did they get reinforcements? They did. 1800. Alright. Then I have the 3rd Romanian army. I'm gonna move that up at that point. Up to this city. Because the 3rd Romanian army operates in here. Yeah, this is fine because I still have 8 left. I'll just do this for the moment, so that I always have a unit in Astrakhan. Now, Mahakala is a port, and I actually wanted to export, which is kind of weird, but I want them to send stuff to Astrakhan. I actually wonder whether that's going to be possible. Very curious to see whether that will work. Most likely the answer is no, but you never know. It might. Anyway. I want to get rid of this one too. And then just move you back. Right. Since that way, at the very least, I'm not going to have any trouble with these guys escaping. These 2 hexes will succeed to me, and I still hold this rail area here. So I don't have to be worried about it at that point. Okay. Now, it might be a bit overkill to use some of those units, but I don't really care. I'd rather have these guys gone, but apparently this is not even overkill. Wow. Okay. There we are. I mean, I just... really need to get rid of those guys. And now...